What is going on, guys? JT, I am the Tie coming at you with something a little bit different. Obviously, it's not a Pokemon Wi-Fi battle for my channel. I am bringing you a Let's Play, and not to mention just any Let's Play. This is going to be the most ambitious Let's Play I think I'm ever going to do. I'm just going to be doing Final Fantasy VII. Obviously, I'm going to see if I can render it out in HD. That's been my goal for the longest time. It's going to be a little bit widescreen. I don't think this game was meant to be in widescreen, so obviously let me know in the comments below if you think that the widescreen bothers you. It's a really easy fix when it's in widescreen. I just type in YT stretch 4:3 and it turns it back into full screen. I think it looks amazing in both. But obviously you guys are going to be the viewers. You got to just give me a little bit of feedback, and obviously this opening is iconic in so many different ways. I can't begin to explain how much of the game, how influential this game has been for me as a gamer itself. Obviously, this is probably one of the reasons why I'm a really big fan of RPGs. I know it's the reason why I own a PlayStation. This game and Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2, the whole reason why I even bought that console to begin with, the reason why I totally don't give up on Sony, even when they produce things that are way too expensive for the casual gamer. But this opening has amazing music, so I'm going to shut my mouth when there's good music, when there's really good dialogue, and I'm going to read it. I'm going to do some dialogue, talking. Hopefully I can do the voices. And okay, I just got goosebumps from that. I don't know how many of you guys got goosebumps. Let me know in the comments if you guys got goosebumps from that. It's probably one of my favorite intros. I don't know, something about that music at the beginning triggers an emotional response to me. But anyway, we got a whole lot of action going on here. Obviously, some soldiers are getting taken out, and some madness is about to go down. This is the beginning of the game, and obviously Barrett's going to tell us to follow him. Obviously, you don't know his name is Barrett yet, but there's a couple of things I think most people, when they start off the game, they should probably do. First thing I like to do, modify the window color. The controller on the video game sucks. I don't want it to be pink. That would definitely be, that would not be ideal. I like the blue color for Final Fantasy. I think it's just kind of fitting. It's always been blue in some particular fashion, but you can make this any different color you want. I'm going to make it a little bit of a lighter blue. I think that color coding your save files makes it easier. That way you don't screw up, do something retarded and then erase your save file. I've definitely done that before, and that kind of sucks. So I'm going to make it a little bit unique. I got a little bit of blue going on here. I'm kind of a pro. I'm not going to say I'm a pro at this game, but obviously I played this game a whole bunch. I can set it to active for the ATB. Keep it at recommended if you're kind of new. Put it to wait if you're not very good. You can pick up 2 potions from both of these guys down there. You can pick it up from one guard, or you can pick it from one guard and then the other guard. But anyway, this is our first random battle. If you've ever seen the video all about random battles by, I think, Joseph Blanchett, it used to be like a Flash video that was really, really funny. They're like tiptoeing around, and all they'd ever do is that they'd run into battle. Like, he'd take one step, he'd run into a random battle, and then he'd be like, ah! But I don't think it's nearly as bad as Pokemon. You guys let me know. But obviously, I feel like whenever I run through the grass in a Pokemon game, I feel like I always run into a Pokemon. And not only is it like a Pokemon that I freaking hate, actually that's exactly what it is. It's a Pokemon I freaking hate. It's like a Zubat, or it's a Rattata, or it's a Pidgey, right? Like, you can never run into something cool. You don't run into a Skarmory or anything like that. You always run into a Rattata. So, unless it's Joey's Rattata, I don't want it. But anyway, he's like, wow, you used to be in Soldier, right? Not every day you find one of those in a group like Avalanche. Hold on, Soldier, aren't they the enemy? What the hell is he doing with us in Avalanche? Hold it, Jesse, he was in Soldier, but he quit them, and now he's one of us. I didn't catch your name. And obviously, you can name him whatever the heck you want. My friend used to be blonde. My best friend growing up used to be blonde. Used to name it Keegan. I'm going to keep it as Cloud for the sake of nostalgia. So go ahead and tell him our name is Cloud. And he's going to try to tell us his name. We have none of that. We're like The Rock. We're just like, I don't care what your name is. Once this game is over, or once this thing is over, I'm out of here. What the hell are you all doing? I thought I told you never to move in a group. Our target's the North Mako Reactor, and we'll meet on the out on the bridge in front of it. And I think Barrett's like the epitome of like a stereotypical black person. It's so bad. This game is so racist in so many different ways. But anyway, my friend used to call this guy me when I was growing up, and I'm gonna keep it as Barrett. He said I used to have a temper in which I would I get really pissed off at him. So I guess there's a little bit of truth to that. But I used to play as Barrett. He used to play as Cloud, and we used to play through this game. But we were both newbies at the time. He got this game from his. My first exposure to this game was that he got it from his dad as a gift because he'd never been introduced to Final Fantasy before. Obviously, a lot of you guys have been playing this. You guys let me know in the comments what the first Final Fantasy was that you got introduced to the entire series. Obviously, I know if you guys are playing Pokemon or doing something, or you've stumbled across this video, you've been introduced to Final Fantasy in some way, shape, or form. Final Fantasy VII was the first Final Fantasy VII, or the first Final Fantasy, I should say, for me. Obviously, a lot of people go back to Final Fantasy III, also known as 6, I guess, when they changed the numbers and made it more proper. Maybe you remember Cecil and Kain from Final Fantasy II/4, I guess. Maybe you started really, really late. Maybe you started at Final Fantasy X. Let me know in the comments, obviously, because I would love to hear. Obviously, Final Fantasy VII holds a dear spot in my heart. It's not my favorite Final Fantasy, obviously. I don't know if I want to tell you guys exactly what my favorite Final Fantasy is right now, but it's not 7. But 7, obviously, it's a really good game. It might not be the best one, but it is really good. So, yo, it's your first time in a reactor? No, after all, I did work for Shinra, you know. The planet's full of Mako energy, and people here use it every day. And I love how Cloud just shrugs. Like, it's the lifeblood of the planet. But Shinra keeps sucking the blood out with these damn machines. Look, I'm not here for a lecture. Let's just hurry. Alright, that's it. You're coming with me from now on. And I love that Barrett cusses. The thing is, like, when I played this as a little kid, I've never played a game that had cussing. Obviously, you guys let me know. I think it was about 6th grade. It was like the first time, yeah, well, the first time you stumble across something like South Park or something like that, you know it's about to go down. I remember I watched South Park or Family Guy one time in 5th grade, and I was like, oh my gosh. And I was just freaking out because I'm listening to these people cuss, and I was like, this doesn't happen. I mean, like, I was raised, you know, like in a pretty conservative household, I guess. We watch our tongue, so obviously I always try to watch my tongue for the most part. But it shocked the hell out of me, and I'm playing this game, and I'm reading the word damn it, and you can obviously tell what's going on when they're cussing, and we know how to push this button for Jesse right here. And thankfully they don't play any awkward elevator music right here. They play like really awesome Mako Reactor music. And little by little, the reactors are going to drain out all the life, and he's still talking about Mako Reactors, so obviously we're going to keep shrugging that off. Dude, it's not my problem, man. He's hollering, the planet's dying, Cloud. Dude, the only thing I care about is finishing this job before security and robo-guards come. And he so wants to punch us right now, but we're an ex-soldier, and we're going to smack him. We're going to bust him up if he tries to do anything funky. So, the one thing I would have to point out is that the soundtrack to this game is so amazing. I don't know what it is. I bet this is definitely the first video game soundtrack that I ever bought. Obviously, if you guys are really big soundtrack people, you might like this music. You might not like it or you might not like it at all. I don't know. But obviously, it holds a different spot in my heart. I mean, I think at that point I was getting into a lot of punk rock, you know, alternative, different things like that. So obviously, this is very electronic. It feels different, and it's definitely a departure from your other Final Fantasies. The other Final Fantasies have black mages, you know, they got white mages, they got summoners. We got none of that, yeah. We got the materia system, and probably like the most flexible system that they've ever created. We got the introduction of limit breaks, which I think is probably the best thing that they've ever done. I don't know why the later games don't have limit breaks. Limit breaks are by far the best way of unleashing a really cool attack when obviously you're really, really weak. We had to run through this door right here, and is it just me, or did she pass through that door without opening it? That was so weird. And obviously, she can tell us how to go down this pipe thing. I just gotta say that, like, the construction for this reactor is so shoddy. I don't know if they own all the lawyers in this world that we live in. But obviously, I don't think that this is safe for workers. I feel like if you're running through the reactor, you would get hurt a lot, and I feel like you're liable for a lot of lawsuits in that scenario. So, anyway, these guys are really, really easy. I know that when you get further into the reactor, they give you a little bit more experience. I like to make it so Cloud attacks the person in the front, And then Barret attacks the people in the back because Barret's a long-range person. Oh, I forgot to move Barret into the back row. I definitely need to do that. Since obviously Barret is a long-range attacker, you can stick him in the back row. He does the same amount of damage from the front or the back row. If you stick him in the back, though, he takes less damage from physical attacks. So I'm going to go ahead and do that in just a second. And obviously, we're going to rack up a little bit of stuff right here. Tons of experience. I don't feel like you really need to level grind in this game. I feel like the game is pretty easy overall. So obviously, just go to order and just move Barret into the back, and then he's going to take a lot less damage from physical attacks, so that's pretty cool. I guess he's kind of, I'm not going to say he's like a physical wall, he's definitely more tanky, but Cloud's by far the best character in the game. I definitely know why, but I don't want to reveal it, because obviously I don't want to spoil the game for those of you who haven't seen this game. You know, maybe you guys don't have a chance to get it on the PlayStation Network, or, you know, you lost your PlayStation, you can't play it anymore, so, you know, obviously, or maybe you've never seen Final Fantasy VII and this is your first exposure to it. I'm not going to spoil the story for you guys. I'm going to keep my mouth shut in terms of, like, what's actually going on in the storyline, but the one thing you do want to know is that, obviously, you see this big machine in the background. Machines are notorious for being weak to electric spells, so I'm going to go ahead and hit him with a bolt attack, and obviously that should one-hit KO. I think he takes like 2 or 3 hits if you don't, so I forget how much HP he has. I think he has like 120 or something like that, but I know that Barret can't kill those guys in one hit because he's too weak, which is really weird, but obviously they're looking something fierce. I don't know what the heck he looks like. He looks like a ninja. You know, he reminds me of the ninja that Solid Snake fought in Metal Gear Solid. You guys remember that? Reminds me a little bit like that. I mean, he's got like the body build for it, right? But obviously, if I feel like I'm not talking about something really important, then I'll cut out some Wi-Fi, some of these random battles. I don't feel like they occur often enough for me to do that, because obviously I can talk about a lot of different crazy things, reflect on cool things like that, but there's a little shiny stone on the ground, and apparently it's restore materia, but obviously we can't actually equip that yet because we don't have the materia option in the menu. And when we blow up this place, this ain't gonna be nothing more than a hunk of junk, and I'm gonna have to set the bomb. And why is he not doing it exactly? Just do it. I gotta watch to make sure you don't pull nothing. Fine, be my guest. And I'm gonna start hearing voices, that's not a good sign, but watch out. This isn't just a reactor. Obviously, what's wrong? Huh? What's wrong, Cloud? Hurry it up! Yeah, sorry. If you hear, just for the record, if you guys hear voices, it either means that you need to get some sleep, or you need to see a doctor immediately. Hearing voices is never a good sign. I don't think there's ever a sign when hearing voices would be good, even if you're like a seance or something, or you're like Whoopi Goldberg in the movie Ghost. I still think it's weird if you hear voices, but that's just me. Obviously, if you hear voices and you're offended, I apologize. Actually, you can tell people that you hear voices. Like, if you legitimately hear voices, maybe you can make a career out of it. I don't know, but anyway, we got the Guard Scorpion. This is the first boss in the game. They don't introduce us to the boss music just yet, which is probably the best boss music in the entire series. But the one thing is that obviously he's a machine. He's weak to the bolt attack, so we're gonna keep on hammering away with the bolt move. It does a lot less to him than it did the other guys, so apparently he got like special defense going on or something. So we're gonna keep on smacking him with that T-bolt, and hopefully that actually does something useful to him. But I forget how much HP he has. I think he has about 300. But the thing is that this guy actually reminds me a lot of the boss from Final Fantasy IV. If you guys remember the first boss in the game that Kain and Cecil fought. It was a boss called the Mist Dragon, and basically what the Mist Dragon did, he does pretty much what the Guard Scorpion does here. I'm pretty sure that it's actually an homage to Final Fantasy IV, but halfway through this battle, the Guard Scorpion gonna stick up his tail, and if you guys recall in Final Fantasy IV, what happened was the Mist Dragon split up into Misty Vapor. I'm just gonna say he split up into Misty Vapor, and then what happened is if you attacked him, he did a counterattack, and in a similar fashion what this guy does is that he counterattacks if you try to pull something funny. So, and then if the limit break, if you guys have ever experienced a limit break, it has priority. That's the best way I can think about it. Obviously, most of my viewers are probably going to be Pokemon Wi-Fi battlers, but it has priority, and I think he's going to stick up his tail now, so I'm not going to attack him, because otherwise he's going to attack with his counterattack. I believe it's called the Tail Laser, so obviously we're going to tell Barret that attack while his tail's up. I used to click that because the dialogue never used to be fast enough, so I'd be like, oh, I'll attack him right there. But obviously, that's a terrible idea. If you attack him, he's going to hit you with the tail laser. I think it does like between 75 and 100 to each character, which looking at the HP that we have right now isn't that big of a deal if you get hit by one. hit by 2, I still think you'd be okay, but if you made the mistake multiple times, which I'm sure, you know, if you first played the game, you're definitely going to do, then this guy could potentially kill you, which is obviously, that's pretty devastating, I'm not gonna lie, but you know what? When me and my friend played through this game, we thought that this was the end of Disc 1 after we went through Mako Reactor number 1, because I think we actually thought that this boss was hard, but you know, back then we didn't know how to equip materia either, so the fact that we got like even further into the game and then realized that this wasn't the end of the first disc, we were like, whoa dang, like we had no idea like the scope of how big a Final Fantasy game is, but obviously it's very character driven, very plot driven, and obviously we're gonna get a ton of cool stuff from here. I think we get the like the assault rifle or the assault gun, and you can immediately equip that onto Barret. That's like an equipable extension to his arm. And obviously, the Guard Scorpion kept us busy, and that's kind of a big deal because we set a bomb, and that bomb is about to explode in 10 minutes. The counter is going to be running throughout the entire menu, everything, but I might as well go ahead and equip the assault gun. It's basically going to make it so Barret can kill those blue guys in one hit. That's pretty much the reason why you'd want to do it. Obviously, if you forget, it's not that big of a deal. But most people probably won't do it the first time around because they'll see the timer, they'll freak out, and they'll run. But trust me, it does not take 10 minutes to get through this reactor. Even if you happen to do that crazy Pokemon Wi-Fi battle thing where you run into like every single wild Pokemon in the freaking grass. Like I swear, through like 3 clumps of grass, you run into 3 Pokemon. I don't feel like Final Fantasy's that bad. Hell, even in the new ones, they like took out random battles, like you can actually see the guys. But anyway, Jessie's still here, which is really weird. And apparently there's like there's an enemy right in front of her, which is so random. But, ooh, we got a back attack. So anyway, in a back attack, basically what I like to do is you tap R1 and L1, it turns you around, that way you take less damage. Or not, well, you take, basically the initial hit that they hit you with does more damage if it's a physical attack. But obviously if you tap the L1 and R1, you turn around and then you negate that. At least that's what I was told when I was little, and I just kind of passed that along to people who were very interested in the game. They don't know something like that, but anyway, this guy's burning me, and he's burning up for me. I think that's a song, right? I don't know, but easy. They wasted a minute of my time, but I think we're gonna get some pretty good experience. If you want to train, get up 1 level here, you definitely can do that. I mean, you earn enough experience to warrant that. I think you get healed if you actually get out of the reactor, but obviously you gotta find out what the hell's wrong with Jessie. Yo, you alright? Dude, my leg got stuck. Thanks. And, she got superwoman skills. My god, how can she jump? She got, like, the skills of LeBron James, so I was able to go ahead and follow her up, and it's actually a really big deal if you forget her, because you gotta run back down into the reactor to get her, because she has the code to that door. If you remember, Biggs and Jessie opened up the door at the very front of the reactor. She's the only one who has the key card to the second door. Ooh, we're turning the tables on them. We got a preemptive attack on them, so that's pretty cool. And basically, you can see that we're doing a lot more damage from the back attack, so obviously that's great. It's because they're not looking at us. But I always like to time it. I'm pretty familiar with this particular area. I've actually run through this a couple of times when I was testing out the emulator settings, just to see if it's a little bit fast enough, if it's gonna lag, you know, stuff like that. But I feel like this first part is so good, I don't feel like there's any problems with the video quality at all. And obviously, let me know if you think the video quality is amazing. I hope it is amazing. I hope it turns out amazing. And obviously, 98 experience is quite a bit. And the one thing I like to note is that in Final Fantasy VII, if one of your characters dies, it doesn't give more experience to the other 2 characters. I know it changes in Final Fantasy IX. I know basically like you get like 20,000 experience for fighting this one guy, and it gets split up among 4 characters, so they'd all get like 5k each, right? But you know, if one character died, then all of a sudden, you know, the amount that goes up, they get, you know, like 6.7 k experience instead if one of the guys is dead. But it doesn't work that way in Final Fantasy VII. They split evenly across the board regardless of what they do. But we gotta get the hell out of this reactor. Go ahead and talk to Jessie. I believe she's the one who opened up the second door, and Biggs is obviously gonna be able to open up the first door. And man, all that that's actually probably the most random battles that I've actually run into in this walkthrough, so obviously I hope you guys don't mind too much. Definitely, random battles are definitely no fun, but you know, experience is necessary for an RPG. You definitely have to do a little bit of training. I don't remember if you need to do any training in Final Fantasy VIII. I actually haven't played through that particular one. I played through Final Fantasy IV, Final Fantasy VI, a little bit of Final Fantasy V. I love the job system in that, but that game is so hard. I don't know if you guys find that game incredibly difficult, but that game is really, really difficult. Played through Final Fantasy IX, probably my favorite game in the series. Oops, I spoiled it right there. But Final Fantasy IX is my favorite game in the series. Played through a little bit of 10. I don't actually own a PlayStation 2, so maybe I should just get one from one of the random stores. I'm gonna talk to Biggs. I'm gonna go ahead and open up the second door and get the hell out of here. Obviously, we've got tons of time to spare, so if you're on a train, you can run back and forth here to like the 2-minute mark. But obviously, I don't see the point in doing that because I'm doing a Let's Play. And obviously, we gotta make this as streamlined as possible. Hopefully, we keep this under 20 minutes. Obviously, I have no way of telling, but dude, Jessie, why are you falling? Get up, girl. And that is a massive explosion. If that is anything like a nuclear explosion, then I feel like we'd be dead. But obviously, I guess Mako explosions are not the same, so that's good. And that's going to wrap up part 1 of this Let's Play. So obviously, let me know in the comments if you guys enjoyed this video. Definitely leave a like response if you enjoyed. I love hearing from you guys. Obviously more. I definitely plan to finish this up, and we pick up next time. Get through this rubble and get ourselves out of here. So catch you guys another time. Bye.